This is Dr. Anastasia Chopelas, the scientific healer, and today I'm going to show you 2 quick tips for cleaning up the energy field that's around you. It's also known as an aura. But first, I want to explain exactly what this energy field or aura is and why it's so important to keep it clean. And the first thing is that I want you to realize that this is a very complex energy field. It registers all the energy movement that's going on inside the body, and it also connects to all of this multi-dimensional universe that we live in. And we know about these multi-dimensions from a lot of the quantum physics, and the theories are way out there and they're hard to believe, but they do exist. That one way to explain our observations, for example, that an electron is in all space until you observe it in one location, how that can be. And so what I want to do is actually describe what's out there. First of all, I want you to realize that you have full control over its size. For example, if I tell you to pull yourself into about 18 inches, every time I say that, my arms tingle, the little hairs on my arms tingle, because what you're doing is you're taking the normal expanse, which is about your arm span, front, back, above your head, below your feet. That's the typical relaxed state that most people have, and that is about in your arm span. And when you pull it into 18 inches, you are increasing the energy density in your field by a great amount. So it would be like a factor of 8 because you have halved the diameter. And so that means that if you're sensitive to energy, and those of you that are, if I tell you pull yourself in at 18 inches, it will create some sort of tingling effect. You will feel the energy. By the same token, if I tell you to expand your energy field to the size of the room that you're in, or the size of your house, or even the size of your city, you can actually feel yourself thinning out as you start to take your consciousness and move it out to those places. So the reason why it's really important to clean your energy field is that you're walking around with it this big, and everywhere that you walk that your energy field encompasses, it will pick up the energy of those objects or those people and so on. And if you're in a really healthy place, meaning that the energy field or your aura around you is nice and intact and it is flowing in a really healthy way, you don't have a lot of openings. In fact, you can control how many openings you are. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is how to help seal everything up so you're in a healthy state and you won't be inviting things in to you. So what happens when you start collecting all of this stuff in that energy field of yours, that it eventually seeps into your physical body. And when you're around other people, they most likely are not vibrating at the same frequency as you are. And so then their energy starts permeating into you. And what'll happen is that your frequency and their frequency will start to co-mix and create problems for you. The cleaner you are with your frequency, whether it's detoxing you from other chemicals, detoxing you from toxic people, detoxing you from outside influences, whatever it is that we're doing, the cleaner you are, the healthier you are, because you're vibrating at your true frequency. And then the next step, of course, is to raise your frequency. So this is the process. So the first thing I'm going to show you is, first of all, every pore radiates out and it creates like a line, like hairs, but it creates lines of energy that move outward from the body. And a lot of times they can be tangled, like tangled spaghetti, and it's in like a big knot and that leaves gaps. So the first thing to do to help clean it out is you imagine yourself. So everything is done with intent. Anything to do with energy work is done with intent. And I am very kinesthetic, meaning I like to move. And as I move, my body tells me a story. And so what I do is I bring my energy field here in front of me as if I'm a little energy person right here in front of me. And what I then do is I run my fingers down the energy field, and I can feel as I come to the place that my lower back is, that it starts to tingle a little. So that means there's like a little gap back there, and I'm cleaning it off. And then once I'm done, I throw it down into the earth. So you can imagine there's a nice big hole that you're throwing it down. And I just run my hands down 4 or 5 times and keep expanding the extent. And I make sure that I get everything underneath. And so I'm bringing all of you that are listening, whether you listen now or later, I'm bringing all of you here, and I'm cleaning you up too. So now I'm doing the front. So I have the back facing me and the front facing out. And I'm bringing the hands down the front. I can also turn my little energy body around, but I like to do it this way. This is my preferred way. You can do it any way you like. And now, and I also like to comb out all of those lines of energy coming from the body to kind of straighten them out. And so the next thing, so that's the first step. This is one thing that you could do. If that's all you do several times a day, you will help keep your energy field nice and intact and clean of all of the stuff that you accumulate. And so the second step that I do, and I do this at the beginning of every healing, when I first start, I first do a reading on the person, I find out where they're at, and then the next thing I do is I clean their energy field up. It's the first thing I do, and I'll pick up as I'm going through, I get images, I'll pick up exactly what's going on with them and tell them that that's what we're going to work on, and they usually say, oh yes, that's exactly what's happening. So anyway, the second step is to imagine that you have a rose. So you just pluck a rose up out of, it's an energy rose. And the top part of it can be pink, it can be red, it can be white, it can be a nice color, whatever you like. And what the energy, so roses, we vibrate, if you're healthy, vibrate between 70 and 80 megahertz. A rose will vibrate at 320 megahertz. That is 4 times a human frequency. And so a rose is a very high energy living thing, very high energy. So I pluck that energy rose out. And for me, it's a symbol of love and beauty and purity. So it's very symbolic. I've drawn many roses. I really enjoy the kind of like that free flow of their leaves, and they have 3 leaves on each of their branches. So they have a specific form. I just enjoy it because they're complex. And then when they open up completely, they reveal something really beautiful inside. So now I'm plucked out that rose, and I imagine that energy field in front of me, and I start at the top and I start swinging it around that little energy person. And then I'll notice that it starts to get full, and I'll drop it down into the earth, and I'll pluck a new one out. And then I'll wrap it around, and you start at the head and you go to the neck, then the shoulders, then the chest, then the waist, and then the hips, and it's full again, and I pluck out a new one, and then I go around the legs, and I always have stuff accumulated on my knees. I don't know why, and now I can feel it disappearing. And then I'm going down to the feet, and then make sure you get under the feet. So now all of the dust balls and, dark spots and everything, where they're cleaned up. And some people actually have better vision after I do that. They go, "Oh wow, my eyesight has gotten sharper." Like somebody cleaned up the clouds, like they took Windex to the window and cleaned it all up. They just feel a little more sparkly and everything. And then I run a last one down and toss it down the grounding cord. So now officially your energy field is nice and clear. So there's two little steps that you can do to help protect you. And the first step is make sure that all the holes are filled. So any hole, it could have been that you had a hook or a cord or a dagger in there, and we're just pulling those out, making sure that they're all gone, and it leaves a hole. So now you're going to imagine that you've got some spiritual spackle and you're plastering it and cleaning it all up and making sure your little energy being is nice and intact and the entire field is nice and clean. And it's just you in there. It's nobody else. So now that you've gotten this nice clean place, now that you're nice and clean, we can also put a nice like you can imagine, you've got a plexiglass shell around you. If you're going to go out, you need to take it off when you come home. But if you're going to go out somewhere, and color it like a sky blue, which I call a bandpass filter. It drops out all of the low energy frequencies and opens you up to only the high energy frequencies. And I know this from doing 40 years in an optics lab, and we used a lot of filters, and that was one of the specialty filters we had that would only allow the high energy things. And then I found out it worked. I did this on a little 2-year-old who kept getting attacked, and first I put a quantum field around him, and he felt good for about 3-4 days, and then I added the blue, sky blue filter around it, and then it stayed for a long time, and he was able to sleep at night again. So a lot of children are very sensitive to the energies around them, and that really helped him. And his dad was clairvoyant and could see me actually putting the field there, and now he does it for his son. So now I've shown you first to comb through your energy field and detangle it, smooth it out, and throw everything down into the earth. You can imagine you've got a 50-foot hole down into the earth, and it's gone now. Then the next thing is you pluck out your energy rose, and it's like a vacuum or a feather duster, and you're just cleaning up everything. And as you clean it all up, you may be sensitive to feeling where your problems are. Like I had, as I mentioned earlier, I had some problems in my back, and now they're gone, now that I've run it through it again. And then the last thing is to put a nice seal on it, like a clear plexiglass or something, to protect you when you go out. You can release it when you come back home, but when you're going out in crowds. And then, of course, the other thing to imagine is that when you're going in crowds, just pull yourself in nice and tight. And when you get into that habit of doing that, pretty soon you will, get up in the morning, you just clean it. Of course, it takes like a minute or two to do this. It took me a lot longer to explain what I was doing than actually doing it, because I'll get up, I'll do this, and then I'll run the rose down and toss it away, and I'm done in like a minute. So this is to help keep you clean and protected. And the reason why is you're getting all these foreign energies. So all illness starts from the outside and works its way in. And a lot of those outside influences could be belief systems that are simply not true. It could be other people's emotions and that are affecting you. It's anything that's external to you. In other words, the external influences or living externally is what causes stress and illness in your own body. And living from the internal out helps keep you healthy and happy and more vibrant. This is one of the processes that you could be learning in one of my healing classes. And the thing that's really great about this new program called the Scientific Healer Certification Program, it is an in-depth program for both learning how to heal and learning the energy principles and regular business principles. So there's both things that are offered, and you'll get lots of personalized attention. Right now, I have capped the enrollment at 12, and I have 9 people now enrolled, so there's 3 spots left. If you are and when you are ready to actually engage in any of these principles for helping improve your life, healing other people, healing your pets, improving your overall environment in general, you will be learning these things. And I've got links below. The first link is scientifichealer.com/energize me, ENERGIZEME. And that will take you to a page that has information. And if you're already interested, go to scientifichealer.com/appointments to set an appointment to talk, or if you just simply want to ask questions, go to scientifichealer.com/contact. And in any of those methods, you can get in touch with me, and we'll be in conversation about it. So this is all I have for today. I'm really, really excited that you're listening to me, and I'm so happy that you're here. And please apply everything you just learned to helping keep your energy field nice and fresh and clean and crisp so you can be your best self. If you like this video, hit the like button below, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.